Hey. How y'all doing today? All right. I'm gonna just throw this one in here. This was not one I was gonna do, but one of my friends shared with me, which I've been seeing too. Everybody is talking about the Emerald tablets. Everyone, if you're subscribed to like people like I don't know, Secret Energy, so I think that's Seven Bomar, but I think that the channel on YouTube is Understanding. He's got his own website and stuff where he's got tribe vibes and he's got classes and stuff. But every now and then he'll drop a little clip. And the clip he dropped yesterday was talking about Thoth and the Emerald tablets. And I'm just like, wow, because it just did this version from the Holy Megillah. Now, also Billy Carson and everybody's just really going in. And my friend sent me a clip about uh, some other script that talked about Jesus being married and having children. And so I decided to throw this up here. Yes, it's controversial and it's going to go against everything we were already told, but I know that the world now, 2023, people's minds have been opened. Even if they didn't want to have an open mind, your mind, it just can't thrive in the box that has been put around our growth and our expansion of knowledge. We're thinking outside the box now. So all of this stuff that was written back then, which is what we should have been privy to, we should have had all of this stuff during our so-called higher learning systems and stuff, but we didn't have it all. But now we do. So I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to try to read it fast. I don't want to make it more than 10 minutes, but this is the Holy Godspell, also known as the Nasarean New Testament of the Essene Way, being the gospel of the Lord and Lady as recorded by their authorized scribe, Jahleel. Okay, chapter 1, the preamble to the Holy Godspell. This gospel is written for my brothers and sisters of every place and time who sincerely love and serve the Lord and the Lady. Blessed love, greetings in the love of the Lord Christ and the Lady Christ. I am by birth called Sarah, but my new birth in Christ am called Jahleel. But by new birth in Christ, I am called Jahleel. I am the adopted daughter of Miriam, the Lady Christ. For behold, when I was 14 years of age, the Lord Christ, Yahshua, was crucified, and my birth mother, Migdana, the scribe, was slain by a mob. I report these things and that which follows now to bring not to bring follows, not to bring glory unto myself, but so that you may know the authority by which this gospel is written. For behold, I am the authorized scribe of the gospel of the Lord and Lady, being the successor to my mother. For before she was slain, my mother was the authorized scribe. She taught me several languages and the art of scribing. Mother said it was as if I had been born for this work, for it was as though I already knew the languages and simply remembered them. And the queen of Sheba was with me, guiding me in dreams and visions. Yea, her hand was upon my hand whenever I scribed. For lo, she is the queen of the scroll. Behold, my mother Migdana was lady in waiting to Miriam, for my mother was the chief disciple of the Lady Christ, even before the lady walked with Yahshua. For 7 years before she walked with Yahshua, Lady Miriam journeyed to many lands, preaching the Essene way. And for the duration of the 7 years, not one man became her disciple, for though she accepted men in her flock, none accepted her. But in these 7 years, 7 women became her disciples. And the first of these women was Migdana, my birth mother, who joined Miriam in Ethiopia. And this was halfway through the first years of Miriam's journey. At this time, my mother was a young widow, for my father had been slain. Though I was but 5 years old, Miriam refused not my mother and her youngster. I too became her disciple and traveled with her for 7 years before she joined Yahshua. After 7 years of walking with no man at her side, Miriam reunited with her eternal consort, Yeshua, at the baptismal pool at the river Jordan. And it was there that they were consecrated by John as Lord Christ and Lady Christ. For the Yair had prophesied that John was the chosen one to make the messianic declaration, which is the declaration of the fulfillment of certain Nasarean messianic prophecies. And from that time on, the 7 disciples of Miriam were equally devoted to Yeshua, becoming also his disciples. And I was with Yeshua and Miriam all the time that they were together until the crucifixion, which was near 3 years. Lo, after the crucifixion of the Lord and the death of my mother Magdana, Miriam the Magdalene adopted me as daughter. I was 14 years of age. Soon after my adoption, Miriam, pregnant with Yeshua's son, took me with her to France. Her son, Gabiah, the chalice of the blood of the Lord and Lady, was birthed in France. Miriam established a mission there and preached there and abroad until she was slain. Behold, prior to his crucifixion, the Lord spoke with me often about this gospel manuscript. Yea, he told me of his early life before he reunited with Miriam. Likewise, Miriam counseled often with me about this gospel. Wherefore, having declared the authority by which this gospel is written, I now present the Holy Godspell, which is the gospel of the Lord and Lady, to be included in the Holy Megillah as their New Testament. Okay, this is a footnote. Much of the land now called France was at this time called Gaul. Throughout this text, we will use the word France for the benefit of better understanding by our readers. The Hebrew word Gabiah means goblet. Look at this, 336. I'm starting to notice too that these numbers are matching up. It's almost like an alchemical. The Bible does it too. The more you study these texts, you'll begin to see the codes and know they become witnesses to you. Just keep studying, guys. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this, and just don't get offended by this stuff. Just listen. Do your best. All right, guys, stay tuned.